get it if I want it. Gotta make to myself a promise. I won't quit, keep going till I got it. I won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters, and we ain't got nothing to hide.
What up, what up, what up? Welcome into Pregaming here on Sports Money, Monday to Friday, 6 p.m.-ish, as it turns out, when we have another live stream running up against it today. But we got a show planned here for tonight. Got some work to do. Got to dig ourselves out of this hole early in this week. But we just popped off that soccer stream. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that show with us. Man, there was some good money to be made out there. I know some of you guys didn't get a chance to check it out, but those that did, I think you guys found some cash. Net between the plays that we put out there collectively, almost 6 units of gain on the day. So it was good. Good work. Shout out to Subhuman Gaucho, getting it all tight and right for us. Getting that spreadsheet put together, getting those plays out there. Want to do more of that for you guys. So again, if you like that stuff, get out there in the community tab, hit the thumbs up for us, and let us know. That's how you let us know that you want more of those types of events, more of that type of pregame prep. We'll do it for you guys. We just need to see those thumbs up. Shout out to Ramon Scott being in there, co-hosting the day for us there. Fun 2 hours, man. We got our guy Nunya popping in there, rocking with us at the end of the show. It was a lot of fun. And shout out to Dan. I know he couldn't make it. He had some things popping up, but he was there. He was helping us the night before, looking at all these games. 18 games, all shot off at 3 o'clock. They all had scoring early, 33 goals in the first half. That's how I prefer to watch soccer. I don't want to see those 0-0 draws. Football, whatever they're calling it. Great views, great turnout. Appreciate everybody that came through there and hung out with us. Now we got pre-gaming. Then we're going to fire up First Strike to get ready for the big Saturday UFC card. So lots of fun. It's not Saturday night. It's Saturday morning. We're going to pop off at 9 a.m. I believe Ramon Scott's going to move the morning steam up a little bit too. I don't want to speak for him, but going to be a little bit earlier a show so that we can seamlessly flow into the UFC coverage for Fight Night. Going to have a little Adesanya battle out there. The first Adesanya fight without a championship belt on the line in over 6 years. Going to be a ton of fun, you guys. And tonight we got a big hockey card. We got a nice college basketball card. We got a nice NBA card. A little smaller, but still some big plays to be made out there. Got a couple parlays. Got a player prop parlay. The boys are back in town. I got to round out the starting 5, but all three of our starting 3, I guess, are all in play tonight. So going to get them on the card. You know, we're going to try to factor those guys in as much as we can when the situations make sense. We got a little reverse line movement going on there too. So be fun to talk about that. But we're going to battle. We got the Kings and the Panthers. We got the Wild and the Leafs. And then we're going to battle it out with Pittsburgh and Utah to close the card. We got 2 games in college basketball today. North Alabama and Queens College. Yeah, those guys. And then we got a spot with Auburn and LSU. We'll bring her home. There's actually one more NBA game that's not on the card, plus a parlay. We got Toronto, Washington. We got the Nets and the Hornets. We got the Cavs and the Heat. We're going to add in that Dallas game, and we're going to add in a player prop parlay as well. So lots of games to cover. You guys know the deal. There's never enough time to do it. But I need you guys to do me that favor and smash that thumbs up button for us. In fact, one thing I was trying to do here, I didn't get to it just yet. So I got to get there. They took this darn Cavaliers game, the Bulls game off the board on me before I could get this play in. And now I got to go put it in. So that's the way it goes. Just bear with me 1 second. But what a great time to go out there and smash that thumbs up if you haven't done so already. There we go. That's what I wanted to see. And we're going to add that. And we're going to do this. And there we go. Perfect. Ready, set, rock, and roll. You guys know the deal. I mentioned the thumbs up. You know we got a video clip for it. Little gentle reminder. We grow by way of you guys showing us the thumbs up button. We appreciate it. We're viewer supported. We love the memberships. We love the donos. We had some great contributions this afternoon. But most importantly, we need you guys to take a second and smash that thumbs up button for us. Might as well do it right now. time to get to work. I found this card challenging. All in all, we spent some time last night looking at the soccer card. I got up this morning. I was looking through this card. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a tight battle tonight. Oh, man, I'm just looking at a couple of spots here. I'm a little back and forth on a couple spots, but for this card here, I feel pretty good about the NHL spots that we've got out there. I love the college card, and we're going to try to make the NBA our friend. That's what we want to try to do here is get them on our good side because it hasn't been so good thus far in what we're trying to do. So the NBA season is amongst us here, and we got to find a way to capitalize. So I'm just getting all the ducks in a row here. Get these ducks in a row, get those ducks in a row, ducks, and more ducks. No duck racing, though. How about that? All those ducks and no races. We do have a giveaway for the Saturday show, behind on a giveaway from the last Saturday show. So appreciate you guys getting ready to have this fun with us. We build throughout the week for a big bombs over weekend, and that's what it's going to be out there. Let's take this time to get the pen and paper ready. The best in the business gather here. They're going to share plenty of plays. This group, not only the sharpest in the business, but they come ready to go. This is where you get best bets from not just these guys like myself on screen, but man, look at this chat. Fired up, ready to share. Put your best bets out there. Commenter number 1 is going to pop us off here. It's Joe T. Jover's on his side. Jover's on his side. He's going Badgers. He's got Wisconsin plus 5.5 at a minus 120 spot for Joe T. Getting the college ball ready to go. And there's Jared Jones says, what's up, Pimpin' Crew? 2-0 on best bets. The best bet, Winthrop minus 7.5. I will take a note. That just reminded me of something else. Bear with me. Yeah, it's real. When we got shows going on, it's real. Sometimes there's just not enough time. There's never enough time, is there? Is there ever? Really? I got to put this college basketball play in here. I'm going to give it to you guys in a second. Where is it? There it is. Okay. Gerald Jones reminded me of something I had to knock in there. It's up to Rick J. King same game parlay. Got Keegan Murray over 1.5 threes. He's got Monk, alternate line 6+ assists. Okay, Rick J. Says over 70% win rate on the Kings props this season. Jeez. Including his same game parlays. Here's Nasty Nate in the house. It's like the Celtics second quarter. Uh-oh. He's got KP over 3s. He's got Pritchard points over. Oh, boy. No Celtics smash. We know Nasty Nate, Celtics smash extravaganza here, but he's going player props today. Is he telling us something? Shout out to Joe Dub. It's a great soccer show. Yeah, the boys were ready to go. That was fun. A lot of goals, man. It was a lot of work is what it was. Jeez. Firing back and forth, trying to look for them live betting spots. Best live bet we got was the under 3.5 at plus 300 in the Inter game. I made a crass comment about that. Nasty Nate likes the KP blocks and 3s parlay. KP blocks, Wemby blocks parlay. Okay. Look at the blocks. Block. Kenny Woods in the house. Then Spenny Penny Bomb says, what's up? What's up, Spenny? Let's go. Peter Gracia says, yo, Mikey, pre-gaming. Let's go. Looking for truth. Yesterday was a bad play, but yeah, it was a bad day, man. It was. They're going to happen. We're going to fire up and get back to it, though. That's what we do. It was ugly. God, it seemed like nothing was going right for us. I think we split the silver and gold plays at the end of the night, too, so it was just a ugly day. Stop Geo's locked in. Here he's got Ware over 1.5 threes at nice plus money. There's Jake Peasy checking in with us. Fernando Mendoza was hanging out this afternoon, firing off sock. He had a big winner. He had a big plus 350 winner out there. And Spenny Pennybomb says, first play have so far, waiting for a bunch of players and lineups to be announced still, but he's got Thompson, 10+ points, 5+ rebounds at plus 220, 10+ points, and 7 rebounds at plus 450. A little ladder button. Reminding everybody to smash that like button. And Fernando Mendoza giving us Navy and Lehigh under 139.5. Yeah, I stuck one in there. Let's go, you guys. Time to get to work. Gonzo's checking in. Blake M says, stopping by tonight. Enjoy your show. Let's win. Appreciate you, Blake. Let's do just that. We're going to do our best. Now, sadly, because I was low on time, did not get a chance to fire off all the individual graphics here. So we're just going to go off this main clip here. Spent a lot of time in the art department. I didn't expect that to be the case here. Take for granted when you have fine folks out there grinding out and putting the graphics together for you, but we'll make it work. We will make it work tonight. And game number 1, you can see we're going to pop the night off. We're going to go right down to South Beach out there in Florida. We're going to look at Darcy Kuemper and Sergei Bobrovsky. Likely starter is Darcy Kuemper. Now, they got the back-and-back road trip here. They got Florida and then Tampa, as we see these teams do when they make their Florida swing. And the question is, are we going to see Red Light Rittich or Darcy Kuemper? Question is going to be, which game does LA feel like they're going to win the most? Is it going to be this Panther spot? Is it going to be that Tampa spot? And that's going to be, I think, ultimately what dictates which goaltender they will, in fact, start here. Darcy, though, 14-5-6. 2.17 goals against average, 91.8% save percentage. And then Sergei Bobrovsky, 20-11 and 2 to be specific, 2.8 goals against average and an 89.8% save percentage. Kings are struggling. They have lost 4 of their last 5. They are 1-3-1. Just not scoring. And, Kuemper got beat up his last game. Red Wings crushed him, 5-2 loss. He let up 4 goals on 27 shots. Struggling across the board. Still hanging on to that 14-5-6 record, though. But, man, big, difficult loss for these Florida Panthers. 4-1 against Vegas. Are they fired up now that they're back home? Bobrovsky getting rest. This is the rest in the rotation. They got the Four Nations Cup coming up, so you're going to start to see a little bit more of this here. He's only started 3 of the last 7, but let's say inconsistent. That sounds fair. Just not the season that he had previous, not last year's season. Obviously, a big Stanley Cup run. He's getting older, 36 years old now. Maybe it's getting ready for time to move on from Bobrovsky. But, like I said, you got the Kings team coming in that's struggling. And you're coming back home from Florida. You guys know what that means. What do we do when you got a team that played in Vegas and they got their first home game back after playing in Vegas? Well, you got to look to the over. And you got a 5.5. As long as the total's not a 7, which is outrageous, you got to look to the over. In fact, the over is 46-16 in that specific spot. That's the one we look for when they're coming back home from Vegas. They go out there and score. Previously on the road in Vegas. Now you're home. Big 46-16 trend on that puppy. We're going to fire off. We're going to fire off that first game with the Florida Panthers over. Little over action to kick her off. Sub says, dang, is it 6 already? Where did time go? Okay, Ricky says Kuemper is confirmed. Okay. Still think we got an opportunity here. Probably see, on average, we're seeing 4-2 in these games. So on average, the total being 5.5. So they're going flying over the number. And they're going over by 1.2 goals a game despite that 4-2. So it looks like there were quite a few 5.5s in there early on in this trend. But nonetheless, we're going to pop it. We're going to see if we can't make it happen out there. Going to go with some Trisha M action. She says, I like 5.5 units on the Ice Cats. It's not Thursday, but they're home. And goals she's looking at the under. I got it. I got you. Yeah. Got to go with you back from Vegas trend out there. That's the way we're going to cash this first game. And we'll go on to game number 2. It's going to be this Minnesota and Toronto game. This one comes by way of the sharp bettor analysis. You guys know I've talked about this quite a few times. And frankly, it's been dynamite in the NHL. And I think we got a spot here. We got Gustafsson with the Minnesota Wild, 2.61 goals against average and a 91.3% save percentage. Joseph Woll, 2.66 goals against average, 90.7% save percentage. Generally speaking, the team on the front end of the back-to-back, kind of 50-50. But the team on the second leg of the back-to-back tends to win more often than not. So keep our eyes on this Minnesota game tonight because outcome dependent, we're going to want to play on them tomorrow. But that'll be for another day. And at the same time, look, Gustafsson's been playing well. Now, his last game was against the Blackhawks. He only let in 2 goals, though, so that's worth noting. The Blackhawks have been battling some of these minus 400 teams, and they scored a bunch of goals again. So to see this guy in Gustafsson come out there and keep him down to 2 goals, despite it being the Blackhawks, still says something. But man, prior to, he needed that bounce back. 4 more goals in 5 of his last 6. Brutal for this guy. And look, at the other side of the ice, you got Toronto struggling on their own right, not scoring goals. They've been outscored 7-2. They lost 2-1 to Ottawa, but Woll was doing well. Woll was doing well at 21 of 23 saves in that game. So, look, pucks just aren't finding the net. They're still playing some defense. They're stepping in. Now, here's the challenge I have. Toronto just pulled Max Pacioretty off the IR. So what do we do when we start seeing these players come in? We got to push the pause button there. We got to wait and see the first game back with the star player. Now, it seems like Toronto's been layering players in. So I definitely could see this being an opportunity where you see some Austin Matthews doing Austin Matthews type stuff. But again, respected, better report comes through, and they're talking about this thing here. And what are they talking about? Well, they're talking about the under. The Leafs are the number 1 team in the NHL to the under at home. How about that? You hear everybody talking about that Chicago Blackhawks first period over. Nobody's talking about how the Leafs in the first period are going under. 18-10-1 is the best record at home in the NHL to the under. And look, both these teams are pretty solid. They'll both be potential playoff opportunities, but I think we see a little goaltending duel in this game. Despite all things being considered here, I wanted to get involved with Minnesota, but then I thought, you know what? Let them lose this game and let's take them the next. But I can't take Toronto just because of that star player and Max Pacioretty coming back here. So I'm going to go with it. I'm going to follow the trusting steam action here. The sharp, not steam, but the sharp, respected, better report showing us the under on this Toronto game. I think it makes sense. Especially when you look at Toronto struggling offensively now to begin with. Those last 2 games, they've only scored, twice, I said. But as you start bringing these players back, they're shuffling lines up. So they're breaking the chemistry that they developed without the players. Now they're putting them back in, and you know what happens. The 3rd and 4th line guys start getting pissed. They're like, hey, man, I'm going to be down in the AHL again. I better be a team player and do whatever coach asks me to do. Coach is going to ask him to step in front of pucks. You're going to start taking some black and blue marks, and I think that's how we get to the under in this game. So we will roll game number 2 in Toronto, keeping a brisk pace tonight. How about that? Let's go. What do you guys got to say? Nuggets rocking out there. This is it. Too big for you. Step out the way. We got a 9-legger tonight, huh? Whoa. Maryland, Temple, Wofford, Bama, Florida Atlantic, Tennessee, Chattanooga, UAB, St. Joe's, Bama, and Drake for our guy Nunny throwing the old bang over the head out there. Let's go. Big spot there for our guy Nunny. Says a lot of juice money line in NCAA. Yeah, that's one of the challenges I found. Let's go. Fernando says all those winners in the UCL makes the day go by fast. We've had some pretty solid soccer streams now. I think we're 3 deep, just specific to soccer. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we can't keep it rolling for the next rounds, huh? That would be a lot of fun, wouldn't it? Like to have fun. I'd like to get out on the screen and make some money. Man, 18 games isn't fun though. It's too much to cap. It tires you out. It wears you out. And on top of it, it was a shit day yesterday. So it was misery and company all mixing at the same time. All right, the last game I'm going to finish up with here in the NHL card. I know it's a big card. Look, it's probably a devil spot. It's a quick rematch revenge opportunity. It's all the rematch revenge stuff that you're looking for. It's just pricey at minus 180. I don't know if I can. Minus 170s. Eesh. I'll tell you, the Vancouver-Nashville spot was lighting up the over. If you guys are considering some action in that one, there was an over index on that puppy. But I'm going to this Pittsburgh-Utah game. And I'm going back to the well with our totals. Might not be a fun card if you're an over better tonight, but Pittsburgh and Utah. Nedeljkovic's going to confirmed starter, 3.21 goals against average, 89.4% save percentage. We bet the Penguins last game. How did we bet them? Against the Sharks. We went to the under. Why? Because Pittsburgh's not scoring. In fact, they're now outscored 11-3 in their last 3 games. 11-3. Wasn't Nedeljkovic's fault. 26 of 28 shots that he saved out there in that San Jose Sharks game. I don't know. It's ugly. Pittsburgh's in that ugly form right now, trying to get back and up and on the right direction here. And, Utah's on their own right, struggling. They lost 5-2 to the Winnipeg Jets, but they got Connor Ingram back in net. What's the big deal? He's fresh. He's been out for like 4 weeks. Now he's just struggling. 3.34 goals against average, 88% save percentage on the dot. He allowed 4 goals in that Winnipeg Jets game. So this is a dicey spot here. But you know what we've been seeing? Again, we talked about Toronto at home. And what do we know about Utah when they're at home? First of all, it's an elevation effect. That's going to certainly challenge the back-to-back second set of legs there on this Pittsburgh Penguins team. But Utah's not shooting the puck again. They're kind of back in that slump. So you got Pittsburgh getting outscored. You got the fresher of the guys in Connor Ingram coming back in, looking to bounce back off that Winnipeg Jet spot. This is a non-conference battle, though. Utah and Winnipeg battling out there for the Western Conference. That's a lot different when you step down in class and now you play this Pittsburgh Penguins team. I think we do see a bounce back here with this Utah Yeti squad, although I guess they're not going to be the Yeti. I guess the sad news is they got the copyright rejected on the Yeti because there's too many Yetis in copyright right now and trademark. So I guess we're going to have to, what are they going to be? What are they going to be? I'm just laughing because I know a couple of you guys had some thoughts on what they should be. Maybe I better not leave that open-ended question out there, but I got a 6. I got a 6 in this game. I saw there's a bunch of 6.5s that are juiced, really, really juiced. And this thing was sitting there just around even money. So I'll take an over in the Florida Panthers game back from Vegas. I'll take an under in that Minnesota-Toronto game goaltending battle. And I'll take an under between two teams that just aren't scoring right now in Utah and the Pittsburgh Penguins for the 3-pack in the NHL card tonight. Keep her moving. We got to keep her moving because we got college hoops that are popping off at 7 p.m. And we have action that we want to get to in this game here. The first game I'm looking at in college basketball. Again, I apologize, guys. No graphics today. That's what happens when we shut down a live stream at 5:15 and start up another one at 6. And so bear with me. But nonetheless, doesn't mean we're not prepped and ready to go. Ready for battle. I got to get it back after last night. Bag over the head. Kick in the face. Kick in the face. There's that Chattanooga spot, though. I see our man there with the minus 10.5. Yeah, that's a juicy number. There's a lot of juice numbers on this card tonight. I'll give you guys one that just missed the cut for me was the Charlotte Temple game and the over. Probably should have pulled the trigger on it. We know Temple's been running at an over pace this year. And here's the thing. You got 93% of the bets and 93% of the cash on the under. And what did the line do? It moved up a half a point. Now it's a 147. Strong lean to the Temple spot on the over in that game. The over 147. But right behind her on the betting card is a game that almost has the lowest number of tickets on the board. We love to attack those spots because we can get a better indication of where the book systems show concern when we only have 1,400 tickets in on a game. Not that Temple game was blowing it out. They had 2,877 tickets, but North Bama and Queens, one of the lowest bet games on the card. Those are the ones you guys want to look for. I know they're not exciting. It's not Kentucky playing Duke, but these are where we have the betting edge. This line started at minus 2.5. It's moved to minus 3, and we're seeing some force. And the action's pretty split. So given that we're seeing low ticket count, 50-50 percentage of the bets. There are 56% of the bets, 50% of the cash on North Alabama. So we have a little bit of a differential showing that Queen side, but the books are actually baiting that bigger money coming in saying, hey, you liked it at 3? How do you feel about it at 4? And the total's moving on up here. We've got reverse line movement on this total. 79% of the bets and 79% of the cash are on the under. It's gone from 152.5 to 154.5 out there. So you got 2 points of movement. And you got the home dog in Queens. It ain't the weekend, though. Everybody settle it on down. What we know about this thing here is, look, against the spread, yeah, North Alabama plays great at home. They're 7-1. They're just 5-6 on the road. But when they are marked as a favorite, they have delivered the goods. And this is this kind of reverse situation. When they're in the favorite role, they're 9-3 against the spread. When Queens is in the dog role, they're 4-7 against the spread. And we see this total with that reverse movement. Definitely a little bit of an indicator, I think, that they're showing you that this North Alabama team is the spot to be involved with tonight. They do have themselves a nice 3-game win streak. They've won 4 of their last 5. They are taken to the road after back-to-back home games. So they've got, kind of a kind schedule to them. They had a little road start there to begin the month of January. And they played quite well. They finished off their road trip with a 90-84 thumping on North Florida. They go back home. They beat up Lipscomb 74-64. They were a 1-point favorite in that game, so they walked out of there with a double-digit win. Then they followed up with Austin Peay, and they win that game 88-84. But here's the deal, and this is where we're buying low on Bama. There was 12.5 points in that thing. They were 12.5-point favorites. They barely covered. They didn't play very well. Maybe it's because they were looking ahead 4 days later to go on the road. I doubt that. But I'm not a big fan of Queens, and they're on a 3-game losing streak right now. In fact, we faded them a couple of times in this little trip that they've been on here. They finished off a decent road trip with a loss 60-47 against Florida Gulf Coast. When I say decent, I mean they had 4 games or so on the road. You don't see that too often when it comes to college hoops, but then they go back home and they don't really have an edge. They lose 90-81 to North Florida. That North Florida team's the same team that North Alabama ripped up 90-84. So if you play the common opponent game, North Alabama should hand these guys their asses. Then they go out there, they got Jacksonville. They lose that game 87-77. They get double-digit points as a 1-point dog at home. Respected action as well, complementing this North Alabama side, and that's where I went. I jumped in on North Bama. Give me a little of these guys scoring and horning. And look, we got that reverse line movement from 152.5 to 154.5 with all that cash coming in on the under. Queens going to have to go out there and keep themselves in that track meet, and North Alabama's going to run pace here. Styles win fights, and this style is going to be fast-paced. Bucket. Probably see this first half sail over the number. I looked at North Alabama's first half. I thought that was a pretty good opportunity, so we will see. But there we go. Trisha M. coming through with the dono for us there. The $5 dono says, love the spreadsheet. Very helpful for us visual people. Thank you at Subhuman Gaucho. Nice work. No, Nancy Nate. Got to keep you on your toes, my friend. Got to keep you on your toes. Go back and look. I saw you hawking my action. I saw the action. You got to look at it, man. You got to look at it. You got to wait. It doesn't say under. It says cancel. That was a typo. It's a typo. I had to go in there and cancel it, you guys. You guys are following me. I love it. I'm sorry if you guys got switched on that. You got to wait for the show, man. The void is on the under 5.5 in the Panthers game. It's the over that should be in. Did I not go back and click the over? I bet it. Better go get it. Better go get it. Got to keep everything neat. Got to keep it all neat. Got to keep it all neat. Why the hell didn't it go through? Dr. Redbeard gifting a sports money membership. He says, no, you go back and look. It says void. It does say void. Go check it out. You'll see it. I don't like to do that, but I didn't give the play out yet. The fuck you guys. Darcy Kemper will start for the Los Angeles Kings. Maybe you guys are on the right side. Maybe you are. Maybe Trisha M's on the right side with you guys there, leading you guys to victory. We'll see. Oh, no. Sorry if I got you, man. Man, it was Russian. I was Russian. Not White Russian. Let's see some White Russians on. Nani says, Seemac and Babano. Low-key hating on Sanford for no reason. They smashing, gang. Listen. Apologize if I got anybody in that one there, but we're on North Alabama -3. I can't believe it didn't go through. There it is. Now I see it in there. Okay. Hey, Trisha M likes the under. She knows her cats. It's not Thursday, but you guys might get me. I got to play that back from Vegas trend. That's the bottom line for me in that game. You're back from Vegas. We've been riding that thing. Got to ride it till it kicks us off. All right. Game number 2 here. I kind of like the spot. I rather like the spot. I feel like I spent some afternoon with Sub and talk with. I rather like this spot. 59% of the bets and 59% of the cash are on Auburn. The line opened at 13.5. It's gone to 12.5. Then we see the totals not moving. 88% of the bets and 90% of the cash are on the under 149.5. This has not moved. Does that mean that it's going to be an over? It's an over. You know, we like to tie our dogs to those overs or associate the overs and the dogs. The thing is, LSU's only gone over in one of their last 5 games. Now, they started off that trend. They're 7-12 to the over. So when we're looking at the total on this game here, it'll be interesting to see. Auburn, 5-0 in its last 5 games, but only 1-4 against the spread. And yet they got this lofty-ass number. LSU just played game plan out there against Alabama. They were getting 17.5 points. They only lost by 7. They had an extra 10.5 in their back pockets. They pushed against Texas A&M. Look, LSU's bad, and they're getting points because of it, and I think that's where we can exploit these guys. On the flip side, they're getting W's. They're just not getting covers. 1-3 in their last 4. Their only win was only cover was 7.5 points against Mississippi State. They busted the brakes off them. It was 88-66, but since then, either it's been competitive parity in the division or they're starting to see teams twice through here, but 70-68 at Georgia. They were laying 5.5, didn't cover. 53-51 versus Tennessee, -6.5, didn't cover. And now here we go. We got LSU looking to host a barn burner. Now, the one place I would say in the middle of the week that does, if I was playing, the Swamp is a dangerous place to be. But ranked teams in road games don't play well. Why is that? Probably because the team that's got hosting you knows that you're a ranked team, and they want to go out there and they want to take the crown off the king. In fact, ranked teams, road games, opponents shooting better than 45%. and 58 are those ranked teams if they went out there within the 3s of the previous game. So they played a previous opponent. It was a tight battle. That was what happened with this Auburn team. Then they got LSU rolling into town here, hosting this ranked team, and they're on the road. And the LSU team shooting better than 45%. 30-58. It's too many points is what that tells us. And that's exactly the case I see here. Too many points. We'll take the 12.5. We'll roll with it. Dr. Thomas Maggio. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you. Appreciate you, dude. Markel, Textiles. Appreciate all you guys, man. Thank you guys all for coming in here, chilling with us, getting it done tonight. Got a busy night. Busy night leads to a busy day. Okay. Just 2 spots. Be on the lookout. We'll see if there's some spots that pop up for later tonight. Silver and gold members, if you guys could kindly get the opportunity to buy up a tier. Support us. We'll support you. We'll give you some winners to pay for it and then some. You guys have been asking for it. We're trying to find a way to channel it to you guys. We want to give you those winners. Hey, you guys are asking for them, so let's go. Appreciate you guys rocking here. NBA time. I got a 4-pack in the NBA, 5-pack. You know what? Might as well just throw this right out there. Let's get this one right on the board. You know the deal. Here's the thing. The Voos rebounds went from 10.5 to 9.5. So either somebody knows something. I don't know if I believe in that. Somebody knows something in that spot there. I mean, for me, ultimately, this still comes down to a fact that, look, he's struggled a little bit. Maybe that's why it's come down. They're still barking him at the 10.5 like he's out there balling, but he's now in a situation where he's only covered at one of his last 4. So maybe this is where we're buying low on this thing. And frankly, he was out there playing some, 32.4 minutes a game. He's averaging 10.3 rebounds a game. He's not going out there against Joker this time. He's got Boston. Now, look, Boston, Nasty Nate, I like Boston to smash this game here today. They just didn't cover. Now, do they cover the spread? That's lofty, isn't it? What, 13? 13.5? But Boston are bums when it comes to rebounding. They're all flash and no dash. They're bottom 6 in the NBA. They allow 53.4 rebounds a game. And we got Voos, who's come off of not getting it in 3 of his last 4. and they just took it down from 10.5 to 9.5. I had to take it. I had to take him in there. Now, I partnered him, of course, with our other guy. Speaking of Denver, it's Christian Braun. We talked about that. He's one of the 3 guys in the starting stable. You know there's one more, and I told you we got to play on him, so we'll get to him in a minute. But for this little 2-teamer, I think this is a great price tag. $289 is the value that was popped on this thing through FanDuel. And look, Vuce's 9.5 rebounds was even money, and Braun's over 12.5 points is minus 106. So you'd probably be doing yourself some justice to sprinkle a little bit on each of those guys straight up as well. And then hope for, maybe what you do is you, I don't know. Me personally, it's a unit involved on the parlay. And if you're looking for, I don't know if you need extra action on it, but maybe a half a unit on each of those guys. To me, it's just take the plus 289. You're almost getting 3-to-1 your money for the 1 unit. Messing around with the Vuce 9.5 at even money, and then if Braun doesn't get, I just don't think there's, I don't try to approach a game where I'm saying, if he doesn't get it, but I just think 3-to-1 is good damn money. There's no sense in fucking around with that 9.5 at even money. Just parlay these 2 together. This guy's been cashing for us nonstop. It's because he's got tremendous hands around him. They're passing the ball, getting those assists, keeping him in the game. Dude's a winner. His line, and we've been on it. His line in the last 6 games on the point line, 10.5, 11.5. Now he's 12.5. So the books are catching up. And the Nuggets are playing the Knicks. And we just saw the score fest that was the Knicks. They're allowing 111 points a game. So theoretically, this dude should be another good 20-pointer. Up in that business. Got to take advantage of it. Got to take advantage here. I think it's a good soft line for us. We're going to probably see him start getting the 13.5s and 14.5s. I don't know about that. Once everybody catches on, we got to go find the next guy. But I like this spot. I think this is a good opportunity. A little parlay plus 289 action to kick off the NBA card. Here's the other guy. Here's the other guy in the starting 3. It's Scotty Barnes night. We just got that big double-double with Scotty Barnes too. So this is a tricky spot. It's a lot of points for Toronto to be laying. And Washington's a bad team. Now the 6.5s have come down to 5.5s. There's been late buying here. Give you an idea of ticket count. This one's got almost 17,000 tickets on it. We talked about that North Bama game had 1,400. That's why we try to fire on those teams. Hopefully they come through and cash for us. But we got a point down from the original opener with this Toronto spot. And it's all been within the last hour. We have 69% of the bets, but only 59% of the cash. So now some bigger bettors are coming in and tagging this number at that 6.5 because they're thinking it's too many for Toronto. I don't disagree with that. The totals come down, though, from 230.5 to 229.5. And we got 74% of the bets and 74% of the cash on the Raptors. So what the hell's going on? What are they seeing that they like on this Washington side of things? I mean, at the end of the day, they've only covered 1 time in their last 5. And man, this is that schedule spot galore. What's the toughest place to play after a lengthy road trip? Your first game back. Toronto's been kind of cruise controlling. They picked up 4 straight wins, 4 straight covers. They beat Orlando at home. They go down to Atlanta, back-to-back spots in Atlanta. They bust them up. 122-119 is a 5-point dog. Then 117-94 is a 5.5-point dog. They come back home. They take down the Pelicanos, 113-104. Shout out to our guy, Bo Jackson. He gave us that Toronto spot. We were on the Scotty Barnes double-double that night. So Scotty's heating up. Team's playing well around him. They're finding their wins. They got this shit Wizards team. And then they got, look at the schedule, or look at the, Olnick's out, Quickly's out, Grady Dick out. And I believe that is why the line has moved. Grady Dick with the illness out. I believe that's the point move. And I think the Sharps saw that, and they started pounding in on it, saying, we'll take the 6 points because that's a key component, the power forward position that's missing for this Toronto team. And what are you going to say? Washington stinks. There's no doubt about it. Jordan Poole's going to have to go out there and stand on his head. Is he a double-double candidate? The alternate is total. I don't know. I think this is a spot where Wizards get beat up. I don't care if they just dropped it down a point, but I'll go with just the money line. Just the money line. It's parlayed together with this Scotty Barnes spot. And look, I'll give you one little extra caveat. Every so often we can get ourselves access to some of this reffing information. And over 5 seasons, visiting favorites between 5 and 8 points with Petratus as the head official are 34-3. How about that one? 5 seasons, the road favorite between 5 and 8 are 34-3 against the spread. Kick me out that 6.5. Give me the money line. Slap it together with a little bit of our guy Scotty Barnes at 8.5 rebounds, and that's a plus 176er right there. Just win the game. Don't care about don't care how many. Go out there and win it by 20. Make me say I didn't need to get that money line spot out there, but I'll take that. I'll take that plus 176. I think that's a good way for us to cash. Let's go. Thomas says, good play. Don't take the Wizards. We got from our guy. Juggler's coming through. He's checking in with us. NBA home teams coming off in any game in which they beat the spread by 20 points or more. Are these teams come against division 20 or more? Teams come against division rivals are 37-66 for the Nuggets plus 3 tonight, huh? Wow. Braun and the Nuggets. Sounds like a good spot for me. Braun and the Nuggets. I'm a little apprehensive about that spot, just considering what I've seen. Ultimately, what have we seen the Knicks do? Bust teams up. It seems like here, at least that last game. Maybe I'm just snake bitten from recent performance. Maybe that's my problem. Recency bias. It just seems like a weird number. The Knicks have won 4 straight. They're 3-1 in their last 4 against the spread. And maybe this is the buy low spot for the Nuggets. Back-to-back losses. This is their 3rd straight road game. They lost to Minnesota 133-104. They lost to the Bulls of all teams 129-121. That was the one that hurt. That was the one that hurt because I had the Nuggets parlayed with our guy, Christian Braun. Braun goes over, gets 21 points or something like that. And they were winning the whole damn game. All of a sudden, the 4th quarter rolls around. They end up losing that game 129-121 outright. Yikes. Could be a buy low spot. Could be a nice little angle there, Juggler. I'll root for you. I'll tell you, there's a bunch of trickery, I thought, with this card here, too. Like the Sixers found a way to get on a winning streak, but they're getting 8 points now against the Sacramento Kings. The Celtics and the Bulls with that 14.5 spot. It's come down to 14. Starting to see some buy-in on them Bulls, but let's go to game number 2. Game number 2 I'm going to get involved with here. Where are we? Where did I go with this thing here? Rick J says the Knicks have been on fire. I agree. Shout out to Station Play 211 Entertainment. Good evening, Pitslack. Good evening. Station Play 211 Entertainment. Good to see you. Welcome back. All right, look. This one's ugly. This one's probably pretty damn close to as ugly as it gets. The Nets and the Hornets. I don't know. The Nets should win this game. The Nets probably go first quarter, first half, full game. Plus 3.5 move to plus 2. 79% of the bets and 75% of the cash on the Hornets. And yet the lines come down 1.5. The total has got this movement, though. 86% of the bets, 80% of the money on the over. It opened at 209.5. It's gone down to 205.5. Battle of 2 scrub squads. 14-33 Nets. 12-31 Hornets. Woo! As ugly as it gets. I say the Nets, and when I talk about them winning the game, look, they're a good spread cover team on the road. They're 16-9-1. 16-9-1 against the spread. And when they're the dog roll, they're 21-20 against the spread. So they're not good at home against the spread. They're 7-14. So kind of putting that in context, they probably should come out here and roll. Jesus, we've seen them on the road. Was that Clippers game where they put up a 67 spot? I won't forget you for that. And that's why I can't get there. I will say this, though. The Hornets have been an under team. 4 of their last 5 games have gone under. They're struggling to find wins. This will be their 4th straight home game, so I think it's a sleepy spot for the Hornets. Generally, after that third game, whether you're on the road or at home, I like to look to fade those teams because it just seems like it's, home cooking's too good. Too good eating down there in Charlotte. Plenty of barbecue, I'm sure. In fact, I know. But just 1-3 in their last 4 are the Hornets. And the Nets come in here, they haven't won shit. They covered the spread once against the Knicks. But that was a tricky spot because we talked about it. It's not that much travel. 20 minutes. Midtown to Bronx, right? Or to Brooklyn, rather. As we look at this one, though, we've got another under team running 4 in a row. And it's because they're not scoring. 110-96 to Sacramento, 106-97 to Miami, 108-84 to Phoenix, 99-95. There's a 127-101 against OKC. Most they've gotten against, there's an OKC team that likes to run and gun, and they punched them in the face. They beat them by 26, and they were getting 16.5. That was an over. It was an over because they drove the number and the total here. But, man, between these two teams, you got the Hornets averaging 100, and you got the Nets averaging 96. If you put those two together, it seems pretty simple to me. Maybe it's ugly. It's nauseating. I told you guys, if you don't like unders, you're not going to like this card tonight. But this number's super low for these two shit teams out there. I had to jump in. I took advantage of it. I'll run with it. I'll gun with it. I'll take the under 205.5. It's ugly. Ugly. We talked about this the other, kind of hinted to it. The lowest numbers on the card go under. The highest numbers on the card go over. I got to take a shot with it. Take a shot and run with it. Appreciate all you guys rocking with us here. If you haven't done so already, just a friendly reminder. Friendly reminder. Smash that thumbs up button for us. Let's go. Let's go. We got to get back on the schneid here and make some cash. Here's Juggler23 giving us some plays. He likes Santa Clara plus 4.5. Mississippi State -1 and West Virginia +9. I like that West Virginia spot. I like that schedule spot. With Houston coming off that big overtime dub against Kansas. Now they're rolling on the road out there to West Virginia. It's tough to get to Morgantown, man. And you got movement in that direction for the home dog. So I kind of like that. I rather like that spot. Juggler, good luck to you, my friend. Thanks, Top Geo Engineer. Says thank you for the show. Appreciate you, man. Let's go. Jay Main says, I knew these hockey lines were funny yesterday. Yeah. Can only move on, right? Can only move on. We'll move on. We'll move on. Got that Nets under 205. I told you that's an ugly, ugly, ugly spot out there. But somebody knows something. Somebody knows that's a lower scoring game. Cavs and the Heat. Cavs and the Heat with 54% of the bets and 61% of the cash have come in on Cleveland. They opened at 7.5 points. They've gone down to 6. So potential reverse line movement. And the total's definitely got reverse line movement written all over. 228, gone down to 223. 76% of the bets, 68% of the cash on the over, and it's come down. The question I have is, why is the line moving against Cleveland? They're in it's a prolific team to begin with. They're 14-7 on the road against the spread, and the Heat are 10-1 at home against the spread. So there's not much South Beach advantage. And what do we know about the Heat? They got this lingering issue. Players that don't quite want to play there, and his name is Jimmy Butler. Probably time to move on from his ass. I think the point movement, though, is because of focus. He has been upgraded to probable, and it's that illness. Again, sick season out there. These guys aren't washing their hands, I guess. And because of that, the germs are spreading. That's always a concern. Now, you got a team that's got a locker room that's a muck. Your key personnel are sick, so you're keeping them away from the team. Does that mean that the boo birds, the negativity, the bad vibes start coming back out again because they don't have their core nucleus that they're building back around to keep everybody back in check? I think so. Now, I also know Cleveland's got injuries. LeVert, Garland, Wade. It's a tough stretch to get with as well. But it's rest that they're giving Garland the time off. It's not this sickness that we see running around with some of these teams. I almost like to just fade teams when you see that illness. We'll keep our eyes on exactly what they're doing with that thing here. But look, there's a good spot here for this Cleveland Cavaliers team. And a lot of it has to do specifically, well, look, non-division road favorite, triple revenge. Triple revenge, 69-33. are teams like the Cavaliers in that spot. 69-33 in triple. It's tough to beat a team 4 times. Now, you could argue on the flip side of the coin that you talk all the time about teams in the division are built to match within the division, and then when they go out of the division, what happens? But this is a specific situation where the Heat have dominated the Cavs. But what do we have ourselves going on? An offer. A fade specifically of the Miami Heat. When they're home dogs of at least 3 points and less than 3 days rest, they are 0-11. A little 0-11 spot for them Heat. You got the Cavs in triple revenge, road favorites, sickness floating around that Miami Heat locker room. Give me the Cleveland Cavaliers. I don't think they're going to run the conference forever. No question about it. I mean, yeah, some teams are going to be due for regression. Are they built to be one of the best teams in the NBA of all time? That's probably a little bit of a stretch. But I do know that they kind of went through it, right? They had back-to-back, well, not back-to-back. They had 3 losses in the middle of their last 5 games. So they are just 2-3 in their last 5, just in full disclosure, right? But 2 of those games were against Houston. And we talked about Houston being one of the best road teams in the NBA. They hosted Houston. They lost 135-131 as 4.5-point favorites. They lost to the Sixers. That was the hot city factor. We talked about that one with Philadelphia. And they lost to Houston again, but they were at Houston that time, 109-101, in a coin flippy type of spot out there. They ended up being on the wrong side of it. So 2 of those 3 losses are against one of the best in the NBA. And that third loss was against the hot city team. I think we got an opportunity here with this Cavaliers, especially knowing all those factors we talked about, the aforementioned Miami Heat. They did just come off of a 110-91 get-it-right beatdown of the Detroit Pistons at home. So they're ready to come down to South Beach and play around a little bit. And Miami, in all fairness, they do. Once they made the decision to pull Butler and they're looking to get rid of his ass finally, they have put that behind them. They did catch a 106-97 win at Brooklyn. It was Brooklyn, though. And a 125-119 battle against Orlando. So they were 1-point dogs in that spot. I just think this is a spot where Cleveland goes out there and gets them. They get them by 10, 12 points, 5, 6s, whatever number you can get on this thing is going to be good. I thought about the latter spot. When I saw the sickness, I thought about looking at the 10.5s, 11.5s, and a full-fledged beatdown, but we'll see it. Thomas agrees. Cavs blowout. Juggler 23. Jason Tatum, after a loss, over 25.5 points, 65. These are some great numbers, man. Some great unders. Thomas asked if I like the Wild tonight. In scripting that thing out, I want the Wild to lose tonight so I can take them tomorrow against Montreal. And right now, they're even money. And that makes sense. Go out there and beat up that Montreal team. They had their highs. Montreal's a big place to play if you're a hockey player as well, so it's a lot of fun. Toronto and Montreal, it's a big road trip for that Minnesota Wild team. What else we got? Juggler says Boston is 15-3. Yeah, that's what I was saying earlier, Juggler. I talked to Nasty Nate. I think Boston can go out there and smack them boys. Put it to them. Why the hell not? Why the hell not? Last game I got for you guys. Little added. We'll write this one in on the card. You know, we got some angles and some now. We got some trends working with us in this direction. Where'd it go? Where did they go? Take it off the board. Nope, there it is. 8 p.m. Dallas Mavericks, New Orleans Pelicanos. Started at 2.5. It's moved down to 1. Dallas was the favorite. Catch in action. Reverse line movement. 80% of the bets and 74% of the cash. The total's gone from 232 to 233. And you got 79% of the bets and 79% of the cash on the over. 1-point movement in that spot. Seems like Zion has decided he finally wants to start playing basketball. That's the way I kind of look at this game. The problem they got, though, right now for Dallas, and this is where I think the line movement comes into play. Who's playing? Lively's out with the ankle. Luka's out with the calf. Maxi's out with a foot. Powell's out with a hip. Exum's out with a wrist. You're losing players, dude. Then on the other side of things, Brandon Ingram's out But DeJounte Murray has been upgraded to probable. Herbert Jones will be out with the shoulder. And there's that dreaded illness. Jordan Hawkins spreading his germs all around that Pelicans locker room, chasing the guy around with a bottle of Lysol. But yet, the line's coming down. This is a tough game. I'll tell you, Pelicans have gone 3 straight losses. They were all on the road. Now they're coming home and they're sick. Think about that. That was a beat-up road trip. They lose to Memphis, they lose to Charlotte, they lose to Toronto, and they're dragging their limp asses home, sick as a dog, spreading it around. And then Dallas. Yeah, look. Which Dallas team shows up? Win one, lose one. Win one, lose one. Win one. They beat OKC. That was a big revenge spot for OKC. We were on Dallas. Then they lose to Boston. Then they come back. They rebound against that Washington team. They kick the shit out of them. 130-108. 13-point favorites. Busted them up at home. Now they're rolling on the road. And look, conference dogs that average a lot of points against a team they beat by less than 5 the previous time, and it went over 8 or more. A little complicated there. Conference dog scoring over 113.5 points on average. Beat the team by less than 5, and it went over by 8 or more. I have access to the Sports Almanac for that one. 50 and 20 to the under are those teams. Only right we take a 234 on the under. Everyone's out. Everyone's out and sick. If this game goes to 240, I'll be fucking blown away. I can't see it. I see this as definitely a spot for us to grab this Dallas under 234. We'll take advantage of that point movement in our direction. I think this might be a situation where, usually when I take a Dallas under, I like to get involved on their team total somewhere on the under, whether it be first half, full game. Keep your eyes on that. Now, the challenge with that is when you're wrong twice. And we don't want to compound losses, but I think this is a spot for us to take this Dallas under 234 for all the aforementioned. Not to mention we got the little trend in our favor, but just looking at that on the surface, it seems ugly. And we'll capitalize on it. So that's going to be it. That's all I got for you guys. 7 o'clock on the dot. We got there. Spending Penny Bomb says Seth Curry points ladder 10 plus, 15 plus, and 20 plus. Plus 105, plus 425, and plus 1,300. I'll write that down. Let's go. Appreciate all you guys hanging out with us here. I'll tell you what, got some videos out there. Make sure you go check out the VB Ramon Scott show from yesterday with UFC Fight Night, giving 3 best bets. We'll be rolling First Strike tonight. You'll find that probably around 9 o'clock-ish, 9:30, 10 o'clock, 10 o'clock at the latest. Let's say 10 o'clock at the latest. We'll get you guys a 7-pack for this fight card this weekend. That's going to be better than half the card with some of these cancellations. Where else are you going to find that out there? Appreciate everybody that's been spending the day with us, man. We had a soccer show. We got this programming here. You'll see that video shortly, and then you'll find my man, Ramon Scott. He's been running so hot. You'll see him tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. with the morning steam. Make sure you guys smash that thumbs up on the way out the door. Much appreciated. Good luck with everybody's bets tonight. Enjoy Hump Day